Start our time for guarantee of the game presented by AT&T. Guys, after the opening week loss to Florida State, Alabama went back to work, winning 8 straight, including 4 straight against ranked opponents. And then on a warm Saturday night in November, a desperate Oklahoma team came into Nick Saban Field, knocked off the Tide. However, despite the loss, and this is updated now, odds are in Alabama's favor. So 81% chance to make the playoff for Alabama. Well, results come in. We changed the all-state playoff predictor. So, all right, the SEC was near chaos scenario today with a couple of teams getting pushed to the brink. Alabama loses. Oklahoma gets a massive win and remain at least in the college football playoff hunt. We saw what happened at Texas. We'll see what happens with the committee on Tuesday, guys. But is the SEC now a lock to get 5 teams in to the college football playoff?
Ooh, 5 teams. I'll take that. I'll take the 5 teams.
I think they are.
Yeah. If you're gonna put the over under at 5, I'm going at 4.5. I'm going over, because when you look at the 5 teams that can possibly make the playoffs in the SEC right now, I'm looking at Texas A&M, right? Then you got Georgia. So those 2 teams, we know those are currently the leaders in the SEC. And then after that, you're going to have Ole Miss. That's number 3. And then Alabama. I don't think you kick them out completely from the college football playoff, right?
Maybe they drop to 10, maybe
yes,
to 10.
That's the furthest that I see them. But then Oklahoma jumps up in there. We know they have 2 losses. So you have 1, 2 2-loss teams and 2 1-loss teams and 1 team that's undefeated. So already at 5, you could make a great case for those teams. Now, Texas being a 3-loss team, I don't think you throw them in there. You can't really make much of a case, but I will make a case for Vanderbilt, because if they end up winning out for the season, their last game to be able to make a case is Tennessee. If you get a good win against Tennessee and Tennessee continues to win all the way throughout the end of the season, then you have a case to get into the playoffs. We're not just 5, but we end up with 6 SEC teams.
No way Vanderbilt makes it. No way.
No way?
No, I don't think so.
You're leaving a 10-2 Vanderbilt out?
Even with a win over Tennessee, and even an impressive win, I just don't think that they have enough, right, to get through it. And I think their resume, too, is like, it's good. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they're a good football team. But I think just overall, there's a lot of gaps with this football team, right? And it is just too heavily predicated on Diego Pavia and how he runs that offense. Here we go. So week 13, right? Alabama, Eastern Illinois. Oklahoma's got Missouri. Vanderbilt's got Kentucky. That could be a scary football game,
Those are your 2-loss teams. I'm going to look in the chat right now.
Honestly,
chat, see what y'all saying.
Oklahoma's got the tougher route here. I know everyone's like, oh, yeah, Missouri, LSU. Both defenses are very good. Both defenses can play very stingy and slow down opposing teams' offensive side, especially too. Oklahoma's not like a firepower offensive unit anyway. Missouri and LSU are absolutely capable with their defenses of upsetting Oklahoma. So it's really going to be about just like John Mateer finding a way to win, reeling off some of those sudden change moments for them, what their defense does for them.
Oklahoma's defense obviously has kind of carried the weight of this team, as has been talked about for much of the season.
I mean, it's best defense in the SEC.
Right, but now we're starting to see them turn teams over, right? Through the first 8 games of the season, they forced 4 turnovers. The last 2 weeks, they go on the road against ranked opponents. They got 6 total in those 2 games of forced turnovers. And by the way, they have a total of 30 points off of those turnovers over the last 2. So that changes the dynamic if they can start now forcing turnovers on the defensive side, give Mateer the ball back in some positive yardage situations there.
And I don't know. I want to share this stat with you too, right? In the second half of this Oklahoma-Alabama game, do you know how often they pressured Ty Simpson in the second half? 53% of the time.
I asked you what the recipe was on Tuesday, and that's what you said.
And I couldn't believe that Venables actually did it. Right? That's the amazing thing.
Pressure 53% of the time, 3 sacks, 15 total passing yards.
Yeah, and I don't know the hits, but I'm sure there was some more hits to it. But it's just the physicality of this team and what it is too. Venables lined up 6, 7 defenders near the line of scrimmage consistently. So that forces Ty Simpson in the offensive line to really focus on, all right, we're sliding to these players here on this side. Every single time that they would slide to a certain way, the opposite group would blitz. And that's something that I feel like Venables in the group, like they were just like, hey, wherever they go, you're the guy that blitzes, you're the side that drops out into coverage. Even the slant pass that he threw that was intercepted there by Bowen, you could see the safety damn near runs the route for him. He's anticipating that quick throw into the boundary. The corner falls off of it and gets it. But, like, just masterclass.
Yeah.
As far as defensive structure by Venables today. Best win of his career as a head coach at
Coming in on the
Oklahoma.
hot seat.
So, hey, that's another game where they're able to get a win against Alabama 2 different times, because they got it against last year and now they get it this season. And then just the way that they played in this game, Sam was just about to say it. Brett Venables was on the hot seat, if you want to say, at the start of the season, and now here we
hot,
are.
But for a different reason now.
Right? Yeah. That was real good over there.
You got to
right?
wait. You got to wait for that soul.
We're waiting on that. There's plenty of coaches on the hot seat that we can talk about here. What's the chat saying, Scoop? What's the general consensus in there?
All right. Oklahoma games will be close just because it's new territory, and Mizzou and LSU would love to play spoiler. That's what Captain Spartan thinks.
Not wrong.
All right.
Yeah.
Then
Not new territory, just the fact that those 2 teams are good and they match up well against Oklahoma being just so dominant on one side of the ball.
Okay.
yeah, and some people are thinking that Bama should not have an opportunity to make it in after their loss.
So here's my thing with Alabama.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had 1 loss throughout the entire season.
You
going up to this
haven't
point.
liked them much all year, though.
No. But here's my point. With a 1-loss team, we're not talking about the loss. It really doesn't even matter that they lost that game. All of a sudden, you lose another game, and folks are like, oh, yeah, that
That's
other
right.
loss was to Florida State,
That's
right?
Yeah.
So that kind of brings into the equation and we'll see how the committee deals with that. But the Florida State loss, as that second loss, brings that weight down a little bit. For as good as Alabama has been with those 4 straight ranked wins without a bye, that like had never been done in SEC play. That Florida State loss is still there. We can't forget about it.
No, it's a great point. It really is. And I think ultimately that's why I kind of kicked Texas out of this conversation, right? Because of their loss to Florida, which has a very similar like resume, right? Where it was like, high expectations for both Florida teams and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, and just a couple more things as we address these clinching scenarios that I see in the YouTube chat. Some people are saying that, hey, what about if Vandy wins out? Hey, we need to make Bama earn their respect again. Shout out to Queen Geek World. You're up in there. But, hey, these are the clinching scenarios for the teams now as we head into Week 13. And as you can see, things are easier for Texas A&M and Ole Miss. There's a lot of writing up there for Alabama especially and Georgia as well. They need Alabama to lose or Texas A&M loss or Ole Miss win. And
well, Bama just has to win. That's all they kind of need to do.
Yeah, just win.
If they keep on winning, they can pretty much.
And strength of schedule over Georgia. Yeah,
that's a tiebreaker there. A lot of different scenarios there. All right, we got Tyler chiming in here, Scoob. What do we got?
Okay. So, where does this Oklahoma loss drop Alabama in the playoff picture? Tyler, that's a great question. Tyler's actually in studio with us. Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out, Ty.
Wow.
You want this? You got that? No way. Watch them walk right past you. Run fast, run fast.